I love you all
So,
very much.
are we doing wrap up tonight?
I
We are
know you.
doing wrap up tonight. Ian, if you need to bail before we do wrap up, you can send yours in the group chat and that'll
No,
be fine.
may I go first?
Yeah.
Yes,
And then
that's
I'm
fine.
just
Can
gonna
I
bail.
can I ask that I go second as well because it's the same time for
Yeah,
me here.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
we're
that's
we're
fine.
both in New York and it's 1:18.
Thank you.
Um, I'm sorry. I have roommates
You're
who
fine.
at work in the morning. Um, with regarding other people, I really want to shout it out to Coda tonight. I know I do Coda a lot, but I'm just in love with Coda. Because you both your quips and just your ingenuity with you're a barbarian and you're not a spellcaster, and yet you have the utility of a spellcaster because of your ingenuity. You know, instead of setting up an alarm spell, you preemptively and intelligently bought stakes and rope and a bell in order to set up an alarm for the camp. You bought a bag of flour so that you could be able to put it on this thing that none of us were able to see beforehand. You were throwing you were throwing out jokes and shade in a way that was just unbelievable, both in just a comedy sense and in the concept of it was in character the whole time. And the way that you were able to take 3 or 4 words and make them into just gold is phenomenal. And I just thought you really shined tonight, and it's Garagak is nothing but pleasure to be around. So thank you.
Thanks, man.
Of course. Regarding myself, I am happy about the role I played. In general, I think as a whole with this party, and especially lately, I've kind of struggled to discover and to place where Tapartos is in a lot of ways. And the way I created the character was to be a support character. And I have tried to make him offensive. I've tried to make him, like he's attuned to Orc Splitter. I've tried to make him this big role-playing powerhouse, which I still think that he is, but we've had a lot of combat this episode, and I've tried to, stay quiet because I've got people I live with who have to be up early in the mornings, on Monday mornings. But I think I really shone as a support person, as somebody who is there to keep the party alive, and I think that my value really shone through today in keeping everybody up so they could continue the fight, and I didn't have to because I was able to rely on my friends. And I think I need to rely on my friends more because they keep proving that they can handle themselves as long as I keep them in the fight, which is what I did, and I'm happy about that. I have to go. I'm so sorry. I love you all. I would love to hear wonderful things about me and all of you, and I can't wait to see the entire episode. But take care. Bye, YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that button. Fuck yeah.
See you, buddy.
Demonetization. Bye.
Bye, buddy. Have a good night. Kimber.
Um. Okay. Can I compliment you, Alex? I'm not clear on the rules of this yet.
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
compliment you.
Any other person is viable.
Alex, never in my life have I been playing D&D and have I registered such a strong Pavlovian response to an encounter. It's incredible. It is so much fun to see you just have pure joy on your face as you fuck with us. Now, I don't love it in the moment, but it's incredible. Reflecting on it right now, it's one of my favorite things that I've seen so far. And of course, there is just a blanket statement of thank you guys for being so accepting. You're all wonderful, and I love you very much. As for myself, a brief moment at the beginning of this recording session with some role play between an NPC and Harlan. And I play D&D for the media role play stuff because I'm a sap, and getting into that stuff, regardless of what it is, I love. I'm really proud of this character that I've created for this. So showing that off in any way, I'm really proud of. But yeah, thank you guys. I'm also gonna hop off because it's very late for me. I love all of you on YouTube watching. I love all of you playing with me. Have a wonderful night, guys.
Okay, bye.
Arrivederci.
We love having you, buddy. Thank you
Yep.
so much, and we'll catch you next week for sure.
Seriously. Bye-bye.
See you, man.
Invite the guest NPC or the guest PC to show up and roll 3 failed death saves and immediately leave.
I'll go next.
Perfect.
I really want to compliment Az. And
I did multiple things in the turn. Very proud
you
of that.
did. You did a whole lot of stuff, and I'm impressed with how you played tonight. You threw out your inspirations, you used your gun, you used your dagger, you did and it was all in Temp Bard. It's like a language. Everything was done in Temp Bard. And it was primo. I loved it. Thank you very much for doing it. As for myself, I am going to compliment my creativity on using the stupidest cantrips to do stupid things. And yeah, I mean, it was either that or cast destroy water on it because I thought it might have been made out of water. But so yeah, I'm gonna compliment my creativity with my spell casting.
Love it.
I guess I'll go next. I give it to Anoic. I always love how you use your spells. Love it every time. You always do some crazy combination of shit, and it's just so cool. Doing the water bending with the cantrip stuff was just awesome. So
Thank
I
you.
really like that. And then for me, I like that I nat 20'd because that was awesome. I was really looking forward to seeing how Dandy Basher would work, but that's not really something I did. So I'm glad I got to use my tools and set up the trap and stuff.
Yeah.
It's always so damn clever.
Yeah, and I finally got to do the barbarian thing.
Baragak, baby.
Yeah, so I was excited about that.
I guess since we're grabbing it this time, we're
Yeah,
changing the system. I'll go next. I will echo what Rob said, as you did great this session. I know you aren't super comfortable in combat all of the time, especially now that we have given you a fighter as well. But you took the spaghetti at the wall method at this. You just tried a little bit of everything of like, what can I do to make what additional 3 things can I try to make Temp Art as effective as I can? And that was really cool to see. And I'm excited to see how you keep kind of playing with that and growing into that. As we keep playing and you keep taking levels and whatever the fuck is going to happen once you get wizard too, it's going to be neat.
All the time.
I love that that's going to be the only reason. It was like, I have a pet and also some cantrips, but I have a pet. It's going to be great. As for myself, mine is a shared compliment to a certain degree of myself and other. I loved the scene with Tumult. I liked just a little bit of Lysander kind of being like, well, all right, now that we're not, I mean, we are in the hell of it, but now we're not as in the hell of it. I should try to get to know my party more. Because Lysander would throw himself in front of a blade for any of them, but hasn't like actually sat and talked to most of them. So it's like doing a little bit more reaching out, and just the like sheer confusion in Zach, followed by just Tumult being like, all right, I guess we're in with this. We'll just chat for a little bit. It was cool. It was a nice little scene that made me happy. It was neat.
Guess since I had a compliment thrown at me, I'll just grab it. I really liked everything that happened during the first part of our recording session today. The interactions that I had while keeping watch that normally, like we talked about a little bit during our break, was, normally no one cares necessarily what I'm doing, so I had to like come up with, like, I had it written down why I'm taking certain things at later levels. Like I looked through and I kind of like designed my character to go to certain spots along the way, and so I do certain things at certain times to help prepare for things, and get ready for accepting new powers or new spells, stuff like that. And so no one's ever really paid attention to what I'm doing while I'm keeping watch at night. I just know I'm doing it. And so it's just like it didn't disturb anybody, so I didn't really feel the need to talk about it before. And then Kimber just walks on over to me. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" And it's like, "Oh, you just caught me on my nightly ritual. Great." But it was fun, really fun roleplay aspects, and just all around great. And I thought that was cool. And then I guess that echoes back into me as well. Just the genuine shock of some of those happening and just rolling with it and feeling that that's exactly how it would have went down. I feel like I played it the best that I could. So that'll be that.
Can I volunteer as the go next?
That's not how this works.
Um,
I already went first once tonight. It's not happening again.
so those are a few interactions I liked. This whole session is really, really fun. It was really like tense. I loved this unique monster that kind DM threw at us. It was really fun. It was really terrifying. Had a great time. I like some of the roleplay interactions with Olan and Tempod at the very beginning, when Tempod was holding on to the book and was just pouting. So Olan used one of his permanent, like, never gonna get it back magic pages to just copy the book for Tempod.
I lose this book and would be real sad.
I don't know, I thought it was just a really nice moment. I love the NPCs that Alex makes. Always really good. As far as Ileana, I just like how I kind of went with the flow this time. I kind of played more reactionary, and like I went into tonight's session wanting to play more reactionary rather than like being active in what I was doing. And I think it did pretty good. The dying and coming back, and then rather than like trying to like cast any kind of AoE spell or whatever, I just bless everybody because I don't want us to like go down again. I don't know. I felt like I played a very, very good session.
Am I the only one left?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Kimber isn't here, but he doesn't recall. We were chatting about this in the chat. He doesn't recall saying, "Let me introduce you to one of my men" when we get back. But Tempard was very confused about that, figuring it was pretty obvious by now. Tempard is not into men. And I really would have liked to play that out, but that small interaction to me was very funny. I'm really glad that it happened because I would like to save that for later. As for my compliment for myself, I went first today in the introductions because I was told to, and that was very terrifying. And I don't want to do it again.
I don't think you get to compliment yourself for something you're forced to do, and that we do every week
Yeah,
anyways.
I did it.
You did do it. Find something else. You have a million things to pick today.
I cast Tiny Hut.
It's so good in combat. Just pick any one of the
Like literally any of the things you did in combat.
Literally
I have a
any other
terrifying
spell.
Giant fucking goat.
How many other things can you name that aren't all of the crazy other things you did today that are things you've done before?
I did appreciate
Well,
the throwback
it's
joke.
a giant goat now. I stick to the bit.
Yeah, okay.
All right. All right.
You actually used Bardic Inspiration,
Multiple
done that
times.
before.
which came very helpful to
Yeah.
a lot of people.
It did save me one of those 3 times.
All right. All of you guys normally, like I've said it before, I try to find somebody to do last that's like somebody that really like came out of their shell or somebody that did something that really stuck in my head. And I'm playing and stating this order is just random. There is nobody in my head today that I truly have like a singular thing that was like a highlight moment for me, because all of you did so good today. It just blank statement. So y'all are absolutely amazing, and all of you did so very good. So I'm just gonna go in Zoom screen order. Krista, you have. I like watching your reactions to things, and I think I've said it before, probably like 10 times at this point. But you watching your face during everything that goes on always makes me so incredibly happy, because getting those visceral reactions makes me feel good. It helps me, and I assume everyone else like feel this visceral. It helps emphasize all of the emotion that's happening with whatever's going on. If something funny is happening, you get just the biggest smile, and if you're having a serious conversation, you immediately fall into that and you react to those things in character, and it helps Lysander come alive in a way that not a lot of people do. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. I love it every time. As dude, like what? Who are you? What happened? You spent some time in a rule book recently, and it shows a million times over. You came out.
I literally glanced at my character sheet like 10 minutes before, and was
it's crazy. It's crazy what happens when you actually look at the stuff you can do, right? Like you did more in this combat than I think you've done in the 9-10 months we've been playing this campaign put together.
I had to write down what I was doing for my turn because I was like, I'm going to forget something if I
No, it's fine. You were using every action at your disposal, everything you could do. You used bard stuff, you used fighter stuff. You did so crazy good in this combat. And even outside of the combat, the utility stuff, without a second thought, you used the drift globe, cast daylight, got it in there, fixed the problem that was coming up. You did so much today. And on top of that, you role played. You had solid interaction character to character. You came out of your shell for this episode in a way that blows my mind. I'm so incredibly proud of you. And I can't wait to see it keep coming. I can't wait to see this just amazing D&D player that you showed you are today, and to see how much more you grow and watch you start to outshine just everybody. It's going to be an amazing thing to watch happen. Devin, you are a master of minute interaction. And it sounds weird, but what I mean is you are constantly zoned in. You are constantly focused to what's happening. And every little thing that comes up, or everything that I give you, you respond to, you react to in character every time. And it doesn't matter if it's something that I am directly like, everybody else shut up, I'm talking to Devin right now, or if it's something that I casually toss to you in the middle of something. It doesn't matter what's going on. And it's not just for me. It's for if anybody interacts with you in any way, you are constantly, it is 100% right there, and you react to it in character. You do all of this small role play moments in between things that super shine. When you first heard the sound, when you guys first got to the spine of the world, the immediate of just full body role play, just like spinning around looking like, what's going on? Where am I going? There's just these little things that you do all the time. And it's phenomenal. It adds so much depth to a story when you can feel a character coming to life like that and have that tangible or like visual acknowledgement of everything that's happening. It's superb. And I will always applaud you for it. I can applaud your combat and all that stuff all day long. I've done it in the past, but your role playing is superb in a way that not a lot of people do. And I applaud you for that. It's very well done. Very well done. Hero, You are one of the most creative sons of bitches out there. I can't plan for you. I can't. I can try, and I think I've said that exact thing to you before, but you just keep emphasizing it. In combat, out of combat, whatever's going on, no matter what I think is going to happen, it's never what happens, because you constantly show how imaginative and creative you are. I don't think you've done the same thing twice.
A couple of times, but I try not to.
But still,
Mhm.
9-10 months of weekly sessions. Using cantrips to deal damage that 20th level characters aren't doing with them. In extremely creative ways. Constantly remembering the little things that are going on in the battle to keep track of and utilize later on. It's an emphasis of your creativity and your imagination, but it's also an emphasis of your focus and your intelligence. And you make my life a living hell in the best of ways. And I love it. I can never get enough of it because you keep me on my toes. And that is so important to me as a DM, is that I'm not, it makes me feel like I'm not just running you guys through something and just giving you guys just nothing to work with because it's always going to be the same strategy over and over again. It's never the same. And I love that. Coda, man, you killed it. Along the same vein as Hero, you constantly pull the weirdest shit out of your ass that I just can't I can't fathom. You plan so far ahead for things. And I walk into every one of them. Because I don't think that far ahead. I feel like every time you guys do a shopping episode, I need to write down everything you have. And then every time that I plan an encounter, every time that I plan any sort of interaction for you guys, I need to be like, what does Coda have in his backpack that could fuck me here? The bell on the string. It's just a piece of twine with a bell on it tied to some rocks. And you completely eliminated one of the variables of that combat.
Really?
Really. We'll get into that next session, next week. But there's extra stuff going on that just couldn't happen anymore. And I hate to say it, but you made the combat a lot easier.
Oh.
Oh,
We
wow.
still TPK'd minus
No,
Garrick.
you didn't.
TP.
You TPU'd.
TKO.
Yeah,
Because,
True.
that's right. I my hat's off to you, man. Your ingenuity is just something else. And you come out of the gate with just the weirdest things, and nobody thinks like you do. And that is probably the greatest compliment that I can give to anybody, is that you just have such a unique mind, and it's incredible. And I am envious of it every step of the way, man. I'm so incredibly proud of you. Very well
thanks,
done.
man.
Zach, you stepped up in a roleplay way, in a huge way today. Normally your roleplay is very focused on making plans or group scenarios or anything like that. But as you said yourself, your one-on-one interactions today were incredible. The back and forth you and I had, whereas Tum and Ult was, I loved that. It was just fun. And I could care less if it was entertaining for everybody else, because I enjoyed it. And
It's fun.
you had all of these little moments today that really shined a light on you and your ability as a role player that doesn't come out all that often. And I really hope it does more, because you're very good at it. You're a very good storyteller. You're a very good performer, and you should give yourself more credit for it. They're not here, but they might watch it later and see what's going on. But I do still want to talk about Ian and Kimber. Ian is one of those people that constantly shines, right? He he's been an actor his whole life. He went to school for it. He's done all those things. I can always find something in Tapartos's role play, in Tapartos's everything to truly show how good of a performer Ian is. But I think today Ian flexed his brain a lot more than he usually does. He did some of the same things he usually does. You know, he spammed heals. He did those things. But in this combat, whereas usually he's the one that's going for like, let's throw some guiding bolts. Let's get a spiritual weapon over there into the mix. Let's do all those kinds of things. He did his job today, and in creative ways that kept a lot of his resources at his disposal. And that's a hard thing to do when you come into one of these things as a performer. A lot of the times your head is not in good night, buddy. Have a good night. But if your head's not in it as a performer or as a D&D player, it makes combats sometimes hard to roll through, and you're just kind of spitballing as you're going. But Ian showed tonight that he pays attention, he knows what he's doing, and he's stepping it up. Kimber's enthusiasm truly and utterly just blows my mind, and you guys only see half of it. Kimber is a guest character that is going to be here for just this small arc of what's going on. And he wrote me like a 5-page backstory. He messages me like once every other day and is like, hey, I changed this thing. Will you check it over? Does it work for you? Is it where we need to be? Hey, did these spells work how I want them to work? Is it all this? It reminds me a lot of Devin when we first started playing forever ago, where it was like every day I was getting stuff of like, hey, I looked at this. Is this how this works? Is this how this works? Can we do this? Does that work? Da, da, da. And I love it. I love it so much. It's just this enthusiasm, and he cares so much about this character, and he tries to drag it out as much as he can, but it's not in a forceful way where he's taking over from everybody else. It's just him being passionate about what he's doing and what he made. And I will applaud him for it hands down every time, because that level of enthusiasm and passion is not something that you can teach. It's not something you can train. It's just showing that he's doing something that he loves. And I'm glad I have given him a place to be able to let that shine a little bit. For myself, I made a cool creepy crawly. And
this thing's dope as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
The stat block for this creature is 6 note cards.
So, did we actually defeat this thing?
Yes.
I'll need those note cards.
It's a CR 19.
Eventually.
Still gonna need them.
I'll get you the stat block if you get there and you remind me.
What's it called?
This thing is called what did I call? Hold on. I gotta sort. Where's the name?
It's super cool.
It is super cool.
I called it the Eternal.
Oh,
or the Eternitas.
Look at you flexing your homebrew muscles. Homebrew classes, homebrew monsters.
I told you guys a little while ago that I'd thrown so much PC versus PC or like character classed enemies at you for this kind of stuff, especially through Dandelion. I was like, nope, monsters. You guys need some solid monster combats. But y'all are so fucking strong that normal monster combat, it's like, you know what, guys? Level 10, Tarask. What's up? And so I have to think out of the box. And I was like, all right, I'll make a creature that has like comparatively no hit points, but with some weird catch.
Where it does 300 fucking damage to us because we were idiots and kept hitting it.
Because I'm me, there was a puzzle aspect to it. It just turned into a ball and it stopped doing things. You guys just kept hitting it. And I knew you would. I didn't expect you to keep hitting it for 3 full rounds, but
you kept hitting for really low numbers.
But no, I'm really proud of it.
I didn't have to merge
it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed getting to show it off a little bit. And I wrote more stuff. I spent like a whole day last week just like creating monsters for you guys to fight in various times because I wanted to bring some new stuff for
Yeah.
you.
Exciting.
Yeah. And I also made another really cool NPC, but you guys haven't exactly interacted with them yet. So
We'll get there.
yeah.
His name is Harlan Jr. And it's
Har-
actually going to be.
His name is Harlan Dino. Everything I told you about Kimber was a lie. I made that character. I wrote
You-
the backstory.
You tulpa'd Kimber into existence just to be on the show.
Yeah. Every guest player we have from here on it's going to be a PC I made. I'm going to tell them what they do. We're going to have a secret message chat going back and forth to control all the role play and all the combat turns. No, I'm just kidding. I'm way too lazy for that. Plus my friends are really creative, so it's fine. But yeah, that's me. That's the list. So thank you guys so much for sticking with us for all of this. I hope that my torture of my friends is entertaining for you. Usual YouTube shit, right? Comment on the videos, like the videos,
Ring
let
the
us know
bell.
what you think. Ring
Like Garagak, just ring the bell.
hit that tripwire, ring the bell, subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe. Yeah, anything you can do to share it, support it, let us know. Let us know what you think. And we will see you next week for the Dice That Bind Us. Thanks, guys.
Bye.